Ha ha ha! What it do, Busters? The bug catcher is here today. Smoking trees, catching butterfrees, baby. I'm about to pick back up my Heart Gold playthrough. That's what you're seeing on the screen now. It's coming back sooner than later, Busters. I know a couple people asked. I'm gonna deliver. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what you're here for. You're here because you saw the title of the video and you're wondering what the fuck I was talking about. So, Pokemon started with a certain vanilla c'est quoi, if you will. A certain magic, Busters, that I feel currently isn't talked about enough, isn't, it's totally ignored. When people complain about Pokemon, they complain about the graphics. They complain about the Pokemon designs and the exploration of not being able to go into like every little building. Now that last part is kind of what I'm gonna go on a little bit, right? So, what truly won people over, in my opinion, and I've been here since the start, what won people over with Pokemon wasn't the fact that, it was 150 creatures and this and that. In my opinion, it sold the player. Pokemon really sold this idea to the player that it's your story, right? This is your shit. When you turn on Red and Blue, Pokemon tries to make it to where that is you in the game. Where they just took you off your couch, out your bed, and they stuck you into the world. And in my opinion, the Johto games, so Gold, Silver, they do a good job with that as well, right? Selling you that this is your story. These are your unique team members. No one's gonna play the game how you did. And that's why the actual story of the games is so minimal. It's so non-existent, if you would. Because you're supposed to take your thoughts and put it on the character so it is you. I know this is kind of maybe dipping into like a, like I'm the character type thing. And some people don't like that. Some people like to differentiate real life and video games. And, a video game is a video game. But, some people take it a little bit more serious than that. And the games want you to take them serious. So, Pokemon, again, really selling you on that idea that this is your story was such a big deal. And again, having a minimal story in the game really lets you do that. Because it's like, it's like real life. What if in real life they were just these creatures? That's how the first two generations of Pokemon make you feel. If Pokemon was just real, this how it'd be. And this is you. Now, when you get to Generation 3, and they start to tell this story of two evil teams coming together and trying to take over the world, the story slowly starts to become about those two groups coming into conflict with each other. Now, are you the person who saves the day? Yes. Which means you are in the story, of course. But it's not just your story anymore. Now, the story is about you saving the day. And I know you do that with Team Rocket. But it's like, in Team Rocket, you just stumble upon them. Like you would any regular thug in the back of an alley. Or in a weird cave, dark, isolated. You might run into some shady characters. But and that's all it is shady characters. Sure, they pretend to have aspirations to take over the world. Maybe Giovanni does, but that's not really what he be doing. He just tries to make some money and he steals Pokemon. He's like a thug. There's no, like, you're not a real hero. You're just a local guy hero. You're not some fucking boy wonder who is 10 years old, and while the Cynthia is walking around knowing about the Psyducks and she has the potion, but she gives it to you, and then you go help the Psyduck with the potion, and then she shows up right after. Like, is that incompetence? Not giving a fuck about the hurt Psyduck? Like, she's the champion and she walks around doing bullshit. You know, that's why you don't see, you know, Lance starts taking out Team Rocket like real legit like. The champ is realistic. The strongest trainer that we can find hears Team Rocket is running amok in Johto now, and he's just like, you know what, bro, I gotta handle business. Cynthia walks around. I'm not trying to hit on, I know I was talking about Gen 3, now I'm on Gen 4. Cynthia walks around, there's a group of Psyducks struggling to death with their massive headaches. Here's the potion. I don't got time for that shit. She gives you the potion. She knows what the Psyducks are. You pull up on the Psyducks, give the potion, then she pulls up. Ha! I could have done it, but I'm lazy. Alright, that's why you'll never be Leon. You know what I'm saying? But the magic slowly fades with, you know, and it all hit a peak with Gen 5 where it's not your story at all. It's in story, in you know, in and Sharon's story, and Bianca's story. Ain't nothing shit to do with you. You know, Gen 4, the story's about the guy taking over the world, and you got your friends, and, you know, a lot of the problems that people complain about with modern Pokemon, your rival being friendly, their rival talking too much dialogue, all that shit started in Generation 3. May's the friendly rival, or Brennan, whoever the fuck. May's the friendly one there. Gen 4, you got your friendly Barry and Dawn. And at the same time, you got these friendly rivals. You got these evil-ass teams like, I gotta restart the universe. Like, who gives a fuck about that shit, really? Like, who truly gives a fuck about Cyrus? Who truly gives a fuck about N? They're all the same. Oh, I'm gonna take over the world. Like, that's what it always boils down to. You know, you think N is some sort of complicated character, but he's just a hypocrite. Oh, Pokemon don't need to be used for, you know, he's trying to say I can befriend Pokemon, but yet he fucking makes them fight still. Like, according to you motherfuckers, that's not even what you're supposed to be doing. So, and then he's like, I want the Pokemon out the balls. Well, so do I. But I'm fighting you over that fact. That's stupid to me. Gen 6, the story, lame. You know, they tried to give you 1,000 friends. You know, M&J TV just posted a great video saying Pokemon used to be lonely, where your only friends that you made were the Pokemon. And that's a good thing. I don't need to run. And look, Sword and Shield is probably my favorite games because the story until the very end when Rose goes crazy is like you learning about the fucking history of Galar with Sonya. Which is cool because all I want to do is win the fucking gym challenge. Sword and Shield really does the gym challenge better than any other game in history of Pokemon because they made it into like a real sport. Not just certain people do this who excel and have the gift. Nah, everybody runs up in fucking Galar trying to be the very best. Like it's a sport. You know, if you, for example, when you're getting introduced to the when you register for the gym challenge and they introduce you to the crowd, you can see a hippie looking chick in her gym outfit with the headband. If I'm not mistaken, her name's Yue. Y-U-E. She's at the opening ceremony with you. When you beat Leon and you can redo the tournament and shit as like the champ or whatever, she'll be in that tournament. That's long-term storytelling right there. And I'm about to harken on Sword and Shield because a lot of people give Sword and Shield like, oh, this is the worst games. Leon's way more competent and is a better written character than Cynthia. The story makes more sense in the games. Because, in here I'll explain. Anyone's ever heard of Gretna Thunberg, or whoever the fuck the little girl is who thinks she's some smart bitch who's claimed, I remember Greta said in like 2013 or 2016, by 2020, we'd all be dead and hot. And she started, whoop-de-doo, freaking the fuck out. That's what Rose did. Only difference is Chairman Rose had money. Like, I can actually see Rose in real life. I can't see a motherfucker like, Archie and Maxie. I want to expand the sea. I want to expand the sea. Get the fuck out of here. That's the dumbest shit in the world, and people eat it up. But you got real issues in Sword and Shield with the dude, Rose scared running out of energy for the fucking region, and people are like, oh, that's some dumbass shit to worry about. And like a lot of the people who think Rose is dumb for worrying about that are the same people complaining about greenhouse gases and global warming and all the other dumb shit. So they're not even consistent in their own day-to-day basis. Pokemon is supposed to be your story. And when I gotta walk around the Hoenn region listening to Archie and Maxie argue, it's their story. When I walk around the Sinnoh region and I gotta hear Cyrus complain about the universe or some dumb shit, the story ends up being about Cyrus. When I gotta walk around fucking Unova, and all I fucking hear is Ann and Charon bickering back and forth about whose ideals and truths are right or wrong. Someone on the Rocket Radio podcast tried to say Rosa is a good foil for Ann because she's the yin to his yang. First of all, he didn't explain anything. He just said that. Two, Rosa is a silent protagonist. How the fuck we know what she's thinking? And that's why the Pokemon, the story needs to be very minimal to non-existent. Because you're missing what Pokemon's supposed to be in the first place. Your adventure. With some shit along the way, sure. But it ain't supposed to be, like, listen how dumb this sounds, right? Listen to how dumb this is. And really think about what I'm about to say. Let's go to Diamond and Pearl for a minute. You beat Cyrus and then catch Dialga before you beat the 8th gym leader. Think about what I'm saying. Before you beat the 8th gym leader, you beat the evil team and get a legendary. Then what if you go and lose to the 8th gym leader? It was all for nothing. It don't even make sense. That's why it was so clever that Giovanni was a gym leader. So when you finish the gym challenge, you also finish Team Rocket. All at once. Genius move. Not, let me go catch the legendary Pokemon with a Master Ball, but I'm still not that good of a trainer. I'm going to get my ass beat, by whatever the electric dude is with the Raichu. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to lose to the fire guy with just the Magmortar or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? In the Elite Four. Story beats, it don't even make sense. The only stories that actually make sense is Gens 1, 2, and 8. And I'll give 7. 7 did a good job with really focusing on the story and getting rid of the gym challenge. So it's they just made it make more sense. It's more of an adventure, not a sport that also includes an adventure. Pokemon needs to do one or the other. They can never do both at the same time, if you notice. Both Legends games are great. Scarlet and Violet, people hate on it. Speaking of Scarlet and Violet, that's the only games that actually have the gym challenge with interesting stories in the game. Because how many games have one or the other? Gen 5, lame ass story with the gym challenge. You know, Gen 7, great story, no gym challenge. See what I'm getting at? If the story's Legends Arceus, great story, no gym challenge. Legends ZA, great story, no gym challenge. So, if Pokemon has to tell this crazy ass story about saving the Earth again in the region from total destruction from the evildoer and the big silly dragon, they need to tell the fucking story like in a Legends game where that's the story. Because when there's the gym challenge, it's hard for me to, man, I just caught Tapu Koko, but now I can't go beat, I can't beat fucking Gordy. If that's the rock dude name from Sword and Shield. I got the legendary, but I can't beat that motherfucker. It just makes sense, and certain games just make sense, certain games don't. And that's the conclusion. That's the magic of Pokemon, is letting me feel like it's my fucking story. Gens 1, 2, 7, and 8, and I'll even go 9, really do that. But Gens 3, 4, 5, 6, trash. No magic. Took the soul. You literally lost old fans. That's how fucked up those Gens 3 to 6 really are. That it recycled the fan base. You literally lost fans. That's why there's Gen 1ers, and which you don't even hear about no more, really. I'm the only one fucking left. You had the Gen 1ers and the other people who liked Black and White and everything after. Now it's everybody likes everything except Sword and Shield. And then they hate on Red and Blues and Johto's Gold and Silver story. When the story of Black and White's stupid and convoluted. The story of Diamond and Pearl stupid and convoluted. The story of Ruby and Sapphire stupid and convoluted. The story of X and Y stupid and convoluted. But because it is a story, they accept it. Like, at least they tried. No, that's not what Pokemon's supposed to be about. Pokemon ain't about saving the world. It's about just doing my thing and being unique to me. And until they find that balance, people are always going to hate on the fucking games. Because there's a disconnect from what the games are supposed to be and what they fucking are. And with that, the bug catcher is out of this bitch.